Now that Mohammed has fleeced his flock, it was time to plunder the infidels.
Tabari, he who holds fast to his religion, Judaism or Christianity, is not to be tempted from it.
Now why do you think that might be? Since Mohammed and his God have said that Christian and Jewish unbelievers are the faggots of Allah's hellfire, why not tempt them from their torturous fate? What could be more important to a prophet, than souls?
It is incumbent upon them to pay the Jizyah, protection tax, for every adult, male or female, free or slave, 1 full denarius.
Over 4 grams of gold.
Or its value in fine cloth. He who pays that to the messenger has the protection of Allah and his messenger, and he who holds back from it is the enemy of Allah and his messenger.
Sheep were good, camels were better, but when it came to becoming Mohammed's pal, nothing beat the glitter of gold. Al Capone, like the Prophet Mohammed, said, "Pay me and I'll protect you from me." As with the mafia, it was all about armed robbery. The infidel Jizyah tax was imposed at a much higher rate than the Muslim zakat. Mohammed didn't want non-Muslims tempted because it would lower his income. In the choice between religion and revenue, Mohammed had chosen money. During debates with Islamic clerics, I often point out that Muslims were only tolerant because the Jizyah was more lucrative than the zakat. Well, they don't dispute that, as it would make their prophet and God liars as opposed to being pirates. They protest that the infidel tax was for their protection. Protection from whom, I ask, without response. Yet they know that the protection was from the sword of Islam, as the preceding hadith confirms. The rules of the game were straightforward.
He who holds back from paying is the enemy of Allah and his messenger.
If Christians and Jews copped up the Jizyah, they got to keep their heads. It was tolerance, Islam style. Before we press on, I'd like to highlight Mohammed's choice of words. Jews and Christians, unlike Muslims, weren't to be
tempted.
By selecting this word, the prophet corroborated my theory. Muslims were seduced into Islam with the same temptations that ensnared Mohammed: sex, power, and money.
Tabari, the messenger has sent Zurah and his companions to you. I commend them to your care. Collect the zakat and jizyah from your districts and hand the money over to my messengers. The prophet is the master of your rich and your poor.
Mohammed's use of
messengers
was in perfect harmony with the profitable prophet plan. His view of himself as
master
is corroboration of his unquenchable lust for power, and this message repudiates his claim of being a biblical prophet in the line of Moses. Real prophets were neither tax collectors nor masters. Mohammed said,
in Tabari, Malik has reported to me that you were the first from Himyar to embrace Islam, and that you have killed infidels, so rejoice at your good fortune.
Embrace Islam, kill, then rejoice. It's the quid pro quo of Muslim militancy. It is the reason the Muslim world celebrates death and honors murderers. But Islam wasn't all money-grubbing, power-coveting, murderous terror. It was about discrimination, too.
Tabari, no polytheist shall come near the holy mosque, and no one shall circumambulate Allah's house naked.
Never mind that the pagans built the Kaaba, that it was a shrine for polytheists, or that each of the pagan rites and rituals they observed were incorporated into Islam. Polytheists were no longer welcome under the big tent of the new and improved religion.
Tabari, In this year the zakat was made obligatory, and the messenger dispatched his agents to collect it. The verse was revealed, "Take the zakat tax from their wealth to purify them."
Allah was always ready with the perfect scripture revelation for whatever His prophet craved. It's hard to find a God like that. It's also hard to imagine a dogma so transparent it calls stealing purification. The religious doctrine of submission laid down the law. On April 8, 631 A.D., Dimon, in the prophet's presence, prioritized
Tabari, the obligatory acts of Islam one by one: the zakat tax, fasting, pilgrimage, and all the Sunnah or laws of the prophet.
Money was number one, and acknowledging Allah didn't even make the list.